Hi, and welcome back to Flute Playing 101, 101 tips on how to play the flute. Again, there may be more, there may be less, who cares? We're going to go through a lot of information, and today, yours truly, Octavio Cortez, your host, will be going through the right hand position on the instrument, right? These that some people tend to have tendencies for tension. In fact, many flute players unfortunately have problems with the metacarpian tunnel syndrome, and there are ways to avoid that, unfortunately, and most people don't do it because they just go with the advice of the doctor, in the sense that they have to go through surgery. Many a times this is the result of bad flute positioning or bad general habits in the process of either typing on a keyboard or just general bad habits of motricity, and many of these can be avoided. I myself tended to have a little bit of problem when I started using computers, and eventually learned the right position when using the computer, and now I don't have any problems. Never had to do any surgery or anything like that, and many other problems can happen, not just with your metacarpian tunnel. Knees are also a very frequent problem because of bad positioning. We're going to talk about all of these things in the future, but today we are going to concern ourselves about the right hand only, and only the right hand. The best advice I can give you in terms of how to hold the instrument, in terms of the right hand, is to just let your hand drop. Let it drop naturally. I'm going to pull my hand up here just to be able to show it, right? There you go. You hold the hand, and when you drop your hand, please do observe the following. Your hand is not going to be like this. It's not going to be like this. It's always going to drop in a fashion where the forearm will be almost aligned with the back of your hand, right? It's not, I mean, these tendencies tend to create tension, either this or this. And the natural way for your hand to drop should be like that, right? Should look like that. Now, as for the fingers, if you notice, the fingers do not end up curled, do not end up straight, unless you were tense, right? And we're trying to do kind of a military stance, right? Then you, no, just let it drop naturally. And that is your aim. That is how you want to have your hand on the instrument, as naturally as possible, right? Now, of course, it's not going to fit right away. If I look at my hand, right, my fingers are not equal, right? They're not like this, but this is as close as it gets. Everybody's going to be different, and some people are going to have longer, shorter fingers, whatever. But the general principle is that you let your hand drop, and then pick it up in the same position, and then doing as little as possible, you let your hand adapt to the instrument. In that process, the least you do, the better off you will be. Let me repeat that from another angle. When you do it, the way you will look at it is similarly to this. You look at your hand, right? There it is. And then you put the instrument on the hand. Things that you have to consider are, for instance, your hand should not arrive to the instrument from an angle, right? It should arrive in a transversal fashion, right? Like so. Other things to consider are the thumb should be under your index. If you move the thumb further, right? If you tend to do this, or if looked up from the front, which is the easiest way to tell, if you put your finger like this, you tend to turn your hand, and then your fingers are not going to move in the direction of the keys. Your keys are going to go out of adjustment, right? You want your fingers to move up and down, not sideways, right? So you want your thumb under, as if you were pinching, right? That's how I associate it. I think of pinching. I'm pinching the flute there. Whoop, perfect. That's the place where I can hold the instrument. Now, most of the positions of the instrument also have the pinky. So that is also a point of support. We're going to talk about the points of support, right? But essentially, the pinky is also going to work to help you roll to the right location. Of course, this is going to be dependent on a good position for the keys itself, right? For the foot joint, whether it's in the right location or not. Then you have to learn that groove, right? And make sure you find your position. But also, your hand should be like that. Now, some musicians tend to raise their arms. They look very nice, right? Very flute-like. Not good. Not good, because when you do that, this is going to happen. And here is my advice. Try this. Move your fingers when your forearm and the hand are essentially aligned, right? Move them, and now move them when you flex, and you'll see that there is tension. Do the opposite, there is also some tension, right? So the more you flex, especially in the back, some people are more elastic, right? But there is also going to be some tension in there. So the more you hold your hand in the same direction as your forearm, the safer you are for good flute playing habits, and the less likely you are to suffer metacarpian tunnel problems. Now, the metacarpian tunnel problems can also originate because of this. Because when you do this, you are creating tension on this muscle here. And you can see it right away. It goes hard. When you have the natural position, the tension is minimized. So you want to have that natural position as best as possible at all times, okay? Now, once you achieve that, you should find that balancing the instrument is easier, right? That you should be able to play with it and switch, for instance, from D to C sharp or vice versa. Right, where all of the keys are not depressed and then goes into completely the opposite. Every key that, or the one key that was depressed is released, and the rest except for the index are pressed, right? So that's where you can tell if you're holding the instrument properly. It's kind of a balancing act, or the one that most students have problems with at first. So make sure you first find your right hand position, right? It's the most important one, because it's going to be the one that holds most of the balance of the instrument. You can see you can even hold the instrument and keep it balanced by just playing a C sharp, even without the other hand. That's how important the right hand is, right? And it should be that accurate. Again, no inclination on the hand, no inclination on the back of the right of the hand. It should always be. If you need to, maybe roll the instrument instead, right, to find that correct positioning. But then in order to roll the instrument, also keep in mind that the other hand, right, we're going to discuss that later, the other hand will have to roll as well. So yeah, you don't want to roll this one in this direction, because when you do that, this one goes in that direction, right? So it's a balancing act. Both of them have to be, right, kind of as relaxed as possible. There's going to be a little bit of an angle, yes, but it's not going to be increased by raising your arms. You don't want to do that. As much as possible, your stance should be relaxed. And you should be able to move, of course, but again, right, these and these are two different things. You want to avoid these. This creates tension not only on the hands, on the metacarpian, it also creates tension in your shoulders. You want to relax, right, feel comfortable, and then just raise the instrument and play. Right, that's the idea. So that's the discussion of the right hand. Again, just let it drop and try to adapt the instrument to the hand as dropped in a relaxed fashion. That was all for today. My name is Octavio Cortez. Again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you will subscribe and share these videos also with your flute playing, peers, and maybe even discuss it with your teachers. It's not intended to be a material to replace the good advice of a teacher, but yes, some people don't have access to a teacher. They may be able to use this material as well, and that's why I'm making it. Okay, so I hope to see you soon again, or rather, I hope you see me soon again, right? And but no, yeah, I will also love to hear suggestions, preferably as video questions. I'll be paying more attention to those, of course, because you can create more awareness as to what the problem is. You can probably make an example, such as what I have done now, right? I could write 10 minutes, could not be able to explain as much as I did during the video. So hope to see you again, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.